Good morning, artists. Hopefully you've had a good breakfast, a good night's sleep, and you are feeling energized and ready to exercise your creative muscles. Today we're going to start with some art history. So over the past couple years at Walden, we've covered several different periods of art history. We've covered the art of pre-Hispanic Mesoamerica. We've covered kabuki theater in Japan. We've covered the art of ancient Egypt. But today, I want to talk about one event in art history that we haven't talked about yet, and that is the Italian Renaissance.
Welcome to the Renaissance, with poets, painters, and bon vivants.
So when historians talk about the Renaissance, they're referring to a 300-year window in European history that started in about the year 1300 and ended in about the year 1600. The period that came before that was the Dark Ages. They were called the Dark Ages because people in Europe forgot a lot of things that they had known before. During the medieval period, there was a belief that people were bad. There was a lot of fear. Most people couldn't read, and there was lots of war and hardships. But the Renaissance brought with it new ideas, mainly that people were good. Fear was replaced with curiosity as more people became educated. New technology made life a little bit more comfortable. And there was an explosion in art, science, invention, medicine, literature. That's why the word Renaissance means new birth. All these big ideas started to happen. One of those big ideas that we're going to talk about today is linear perspective. Most of the art that people were making in the medieval period was pretty flat, kind of like the ancient Egyptian art that we studied. Do you see the background of this painting? The artist chose to paint a pattern instead of showing us how far back the field really goes. Now let's contrast that with this Renaissance painting. See how three-dimensional this space looks? Artists in the Renaissance used what's called linear perspective to show three-dimensional space. They did this by picking a point in the horizon that everything got smaller as it moved towards. That's called the vanishing point. In this example, it's a little dot right in the middle of the picture plane. The line dividing the paper in half is called the horizon line. To think about this, you might want to picture a train track getting smaller until it disappears in the distance. That's its vanishing point. To people who saw these paintings for the first time in the Renaissance, it must have blown their minds, kind of like how we think of 3D movies. Okay, so my challenge for you is to make your own picture using a vanishing point. You can put the vanishing point in the middle of the picture. That's probably the simplest way to get started. So here's my example. I put a little dot in the middle there, and now I'm using a ruler to make my lines going out. This is going to be a room. Yours can be a room, or you could make train tracks or any other three-dimensional space that you want to show using a vanishing point. All right, so in my room, that's going to be my back wall, and I'm going to erase those lines because I don't really need to see that. Okay, so now I have two walls, a ceiling, a floor, and a back wall. All right, adding a little door frame there just to give myself a little space to work with. And now I'm going to make it like there's light pouring in through the door, but I have to make those lines going towards that center line, my vanishing point. All right, on this wall, I'm going to make maybe a window or a poster or something, and as you can see, I'm using the ruler to bring it right to the center so that I can use that vanishing point to make it smaller on one end. All right, there's going to be another door over there. And again, I was using the ruler to line it up with that vanishing point. And I felt like adding a little bit of color to mine. This is probably going to be a project that you're going to work on for a while. If you don't finish it in one sitting, that's fine. I kind of worked on this one throughout the day, and obviously mine is sped up, so don't feel like you have to actually move your hands that fast. Okay, and I ended up putting a clock on the back wall just so I can see where the vanishing point is. And now I'm going to make a shelf. All right, see how I'm putting those lines going towards my vanishing point? There we go. I can also do curved lines. It doesn't all have to be completely straight. Maybe this has kind of a domed roof. And let's see. I added some books in there. You can see that they're kind of also going back towards the vanishing point. You can do some coloring. Just kind of get creative. Have fun with it. And the example that I made here is a room, but yours doesn't have to be a room. Yours can be a landscape. It could be a long hallway, a subway terminal. Whatever you're feeling. And of course, just like in all of our class times, if you choose to do some other art activity that's not what I outlined, that's completely fine. The most important thing is that you're taking some time out of your day to exercise your creative muscles. And whenever you've made something that you're ready to share, whether it's today or some other day this week, you can hit the button that says Add Response. Then you can hit the photo button, hold whatever you've made up to your computer monitor, click Record, and I will be able to see and comment. Have a great day, everybody. Can't wait to see what you made.